Welcome back to the Happy Hounds YouTube channel, and today we've got Winston. Brr, brr, brr. Intro comes in. Today we're going to showcase everything that Winston has learned, from sit to recall to pop. Oh, I don't even know if you could
to possibly the walk.
Winston came here for a Happy Hounds 2-week board and train. So today we are going to showcase everything that he's learned, from the leash to the e-collar. We'll be showing you sit, down, stay, place, heel, run around, leave it, shoot the guy, jump, up, down, left, right. Just kidding. We're just gonna show you all the basic commands that he's learned. Obviously, first things first, before moving on to the e-collar, I'm gonna go ahead and show you what he can do with the leash. Now, normally I would have just a 4-foot lead, but since we're gonna take this outside here soon, I'm just gonna stick with the long line. It's all the same. One's just longer than the other. Whenever we put Winston in our sit, Winston, sit. There you go, boom, just like magic. It's almost like he hasn't been learning for the past 2 weeks. Whenever you put Winston in a down, Winston down, boom, again, just like magic. Whenever we want Winston to stay, Winston stay, say his name, he's gonna stay. I can do whatever I want now at this moment. I can walk over here, right? I can drop the leash because I don't need it, walk around him. These are things that we train. Now, we are in a controlled environment, but we have been working on this even outside. Been putting him on the driveway into the place board. So since I love what he's doing, I'll make a visit to him. Yes. Give him his reward with pets because he loves those, and I'll set him free. Free. Now, Winston, free. Free is obviously the break word, so Winston's not allowed to move. Winston is not allowed to move from any command unless we say free. All right, so now let's go ahead. Why are you, Winston, leave it. Yes, good, leave it. There was his leave it. That was a perfect one. Picked up this lovely rock, probably got a whole bunch of dog piss and caca, and he dropped it. All right, we have made it outside into my lovely alleyway. And here we got Winston. Again, we have him on the long line, and we have the e-collar. So this is where our e-collar comes in. We also have his place board right here. So basically, with the drill that I typically do whenever we're in this alleyway, I let Winston go off and do whatever he wants, really don't care. And we do about 3 to 4 recalls, and then I send him back to his place board. And then immediately after that, we just go ahead and do a 10-minute walk. So not only are we physically and mentally stimulating Winston, but I'm also getting rid of all of that energy, building a connection, building a bond, and making sure he understands all the layers of communication that I have on him. That being the e-collar, the prong collar, and sometimes the flat collar. Now the flat collar, I'm also use that inside. Whenever I'm outside, I always have some type of equipment on. Regardless if he's gonna listen to my cues to a T, I still want reliability, because at the end of the day, he's a dog and he's gonna make his own decisions every now and then. But again, that's what the equipment is for, just in case my verbal mark doesn't work. Now, that does not mean that your dog is untrained. That just means your dog is a normal dog, okay? So we'll go ahead and start this drill. So let Winston do whatever he wants. I'll even walk over here. Winston, here. Oh. Yes. So here, I'll also reward him as well, just cause. Place. Yes. So I'll reward him again. Now guys, giving your dog a treat isn't the worst thing in the world. The only reason why I'm showing you the treat part first is because that is when I'll mark. But I will tell you with confidence, Winston can do all of this without any treats or beef liver. So basically what you wanna do is, Winston, free, is whenever you're using treats, you slowly wing everything off. You start off using treats, and then as time goes on, you don't use treats anymore. At that point, you use verbal praise or some type of pet, right? So again, we'll let Winston do his own thing. I'll walk over here. Oh, he's coming to me. Winston knows the game, as you can tell. But he went away, which is perfect. Winston, here. Yes. Verbal praise, pets. Now again, Winston cannot move until I say free. He moved. So that was a correction, I stepped on the leash. Sit. So that's 2 recalls right there, 2 pretty solid ones. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and walk and see if Winston either decides to break off from me. If he does, I'm not gonna be upset. If he doesn't, I'm not gonna be upset. But I do want him to just kind of get away from me. So now we kind of veered off away from each other. And he knows the game. Oh, yes, this is good, this is good. What did he eat? Whatever, as long as it doesn't kill him, right? Winston, here. Yes, good. Now let's send him to his place. Winston, place. So here, place is a bit far. No. Yes. So I did guide him to the place. I mean, that from there to there, that is far. That's gonna take a lot more time from the owner rather than me. But whenever you're wanting to increase the distance with your dog, this is for anyone in general, you start off with your long line, your e-collar, make sure you have it wherever it can reach, right? And you'll say place, you'll guide him. Winston made the mistake by going over here, tell him no, and you'll guide him again, right? So the way that you improve on that is just keep doing it, and then at some point he'll catch on, I promise you. So we'll leave Winston in to stay here, and yeah, we'll just watch him. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now we just did a nice little backyard session, some alleyway recalls in places. Now we take Winston on a 10-minute walk. Now I used to take Winston on about a 20-30 minute walk, but every time we'd come back home, he'd basically fucking die on me. And we don't need that. He's a big guy and he's a big fur ball. All right, so basically leave it. Good. Basically what we do on our walk is, again, let Winston kind of do whatever he wants, but it's within structure, right? So whenever I want him in heel, he's gonna go into heel. Whenever I want him to sit, he's gonna sit. Whenever I want him to down, he's gonna down. And I'm pretty sure at that point you get the idea, right? So probably here, I'll just let him do whatever he wants, let him be a dog. But once I reach about the end of our little alley or whatever you want to call it, then that's when I put him into a heel for about, I don't know, let's say a good 50 to 60 steps. So whenever I want Winston to go in a heel, he goes into the heel position in 2 ways. Either he can swing around me and go into heel, or he can just come straight back and just kind of do a little circle. So Winston, heel. That was poor. Heel. Yes. So what is our heel position? Our heel position is this dog cannot go past my knees. All right. So we're gonna stay calm, neutral, relaxed, and we proceed forward. Now the way that I typically reward Winston whenever it comes to the walk is sometimes he doesn't take food, sometimes he does. It all depends on the situation, but he loves to explore. So normally I'll set him free, but we're not gonna do that, not right now. I want Winston to follow us or stay with me for about 30 to 50 steps or whatever marker I decide to set. And then after that, I'll break him and he can go do whatever he wants. Super simple, very easy. Now let's say I magically do want to stop. Then I'll start to slowly slow down and make sure he's engaged with me. Yes. So I'll do 2 types of praise here. One, you can either do pets or verbal praise, but whenever it's a really calm like this, then this is where he'll take food. So then I can mark that. I did like triple mark that, but that's okay. And then we continue forward. Again, I don't want him to break until I tell him to. One of the key things that the owner did mention before Winston came to the board and train program is she's all like, Winston pulls me to f***ing space and back. He's a big dog, and she wasn't physically capable of handling Winston. But now, look at where he is. Next to me, by my side, calm, cool, relaxed, not freaking out. You know, he's probably like, God damn, my knees hurt. All this weight that I gotta carry, this is bullshit. This is what she wanted, and this is what we're getting, and more. So make sure, if you want your dog to behave like this, hit me up, hit me up. So I'm liking what Winston's giving me right now, but before we break him, I want him to go in a sit, right? So I'll slow down here. Winston, sit. Yes, then we'll go back to heel. And then we'll slow down again. Winston, down. Probably need more room. So Winston doesn't want to do it. I'll say it again. Down. Yes. So you might be asking, Yes. Perfect. Free. All right, now Winston can be a dog, do whatever he wants. And even though the e-collar, he understands the e-collar and it works well, I still want that second line of security. Using equipment on your dog, slip lead, prong collar, e-collar, whatever you want it to be, whatever it is, just use it, man. Don't let anyone judge you for what it is. Winston, let's go. So now when we get to this point up here, this is typically where I put him, or where I would put him back into a heel. So let's see which way he enters it. Winston, heel. Yes. Now we're back into a structured walk. Personally, I like these more than letting the dog roam, but he is a dog. He needs that fulfillment, okay? Don't be a stickler about it. Let your dog do what he wants to do every now and then. Even if that's pissing on shrubs and, you know, they're dead. Brum, brum, brum. All right, we continue on. So this is okay. I mean, he is doing a little bit too much for me. So we'll bring him back a little bit. I'm just gonna put leash pressure. I'm not really gonna correct him here. So what's the difference between leash pressure and a correction? Leash pressure, it's like a pinch, right, for the humans. A correction is like a slap to the face whenever you disrespect your wife or your girlfriend. Two very distinct differences. Remember them. We're gonna do a whole bunch of pop and stops and recalibrations. You'll see what a recalibration is, but basically what it is making a whole bunch of U-turns on your dog. Inside turns, outside turns, whatever turns you want. And another pro tip, whenever you walk your dog, don't just walk in a straight line, because whenever you walk in a straight line, it's predictability, right? Your dog's gonna understand that, okay, we're just moving this way. But if you make those sudden U-turns or those sudden stops, then your dog's gonna be like, oh, well then I should stick with this guy because I don't know what the fuck he's doing. Crazy, crazy psycho, man. So here we'll do another stop and pop. Bring him back. Oh, miscommunication. Miscommunication between the dog and handler. Yes, heel. And we'll stop again right here. Yes, so that I like. That I will mark. Ugh. Ew. Heel. Nasty, stinky. Nasty, stinky. Okay, so normally we walk straight, so I'm gonna turn this way, but then I'm gonna turn right back. Turn this way, and then you turn right back. Yes. So it's almost like whenever you're walking your dog, you don't want the walk to have any meaning. The only thing that it means is he gets to explore and have fun. All right, so then right here I'll stop, and then I'll turn this way because I forgot my phone. All right, I'm gonna go back. All right, and then I'll stop again. but then I'll turn this way. Cause, oh shit, I forgot my keys. And now Winston's like, well, what the fuck? Where do we even live? Man, Winston, you know what? You're right. So I'll stop, and I'll turn back this way. Oh, but I was wrong, so I'll turn back this way. Yes! I'll give him a whole treat for that one. Ugh. Nasty dog slobber. So, breaking the heel, since he's done it quite a few times already, is whenever he just veers off and he's not glued to my side. Whenever he breaks the heel like that, since you'll have the leash on him, just give him a nice little leash pop. Right before he hits the end of the leash though. It needs to be right before the end of the leash. All right, so now we got a playground coming up here soon. If there's kids, we might train. If there's not kids, we might train. So what I'm saying, I don't know if we'll train, because we've been doing it already. But let's see. Okay, we'll let the kids and adults have their fun on the playground. I would rather not make them feel uncomfortable, because some people have had bad experiences with dogs, or some people don't want bad experiences with dogs. So we'll let them be. Winston's already a big, scary, fluffy monster. He reminds me of Sully from Monsters, Inc. Fat and fluffy. Gave him a little pop there because he overstepped just a little bit. Now that part is micromanaging. Do you have to do it? No, it's up to you. But I set a higher standard. I set a higher standard for a reason. So that way when Winston goes home, the highest, like he'll go home at the highest standard that I required of him. But as time goes on, it's probably gonna wing away. Stop. We'll let this family pass. And they got two little corgis up there. So cute. Yes, good boy. Heel. And we keep walking forward. Okay, so now this is the fun part. Look at the corgis, that's hilarious. So here we have our buddy Coco. Now the owner doesn't know that I use Coco for training in many scenarios. Oh, we'll see. This actually might be a little bit too much for Winston, because we've never had two dogs here along with Coco. So here first, let's put him back into the heel. Winston, heel. Yes. Adjust myself. Make sure I have a different leash. That guy was training his dog, so we'll let him do his thing, and then we'll move forward. So one thing I do want to do differently with Winston is put him on this side. Because whenever we walk past here, he's always on this side because I have other dogs. Let's see how he does. There it is. No. Yes, good boy, Winston. It's a bit rough, but he did it. Winston's always gonna have an issue with that. Right here. Not too shabby. Last time when me and Winston did that, he jumped right to the fence and almost broke my back. Shit was annoying. I was so pissed off that day. I was like, boy, what the f? Well, that'll conclude Winston's walk / training / showcase / everything. Winston free.